So that's that. And now we can crack on with the embossing.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Sounds brilliant, yeah.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take our 5x5 card, cut it in half. Okay. And then I'm going to use, let's get our ingredients. I'm going to use my embossing pad. I'm going to take my 4x4 mega mount. I'm going to use this is the bauble, the really intricate bauble I'm going to use on my mega mount, right? And I'm going to pop it on here. So the first thing I want to do, though, is make sure that, because I'm going to use the Wow Superfine Embossing Powder, and what you'll find is it's quite static, okay? It's static. So what we'll do is we'll either use an anti-static mat, or back in the day, before anti-static mats, we used talcum powder. Right? Smells nice too. So we're just going to use a bit of talc. It worked perfectly, right?
I've smelled that for ages, that time.
Isn't that lovely?
It's almost nostalgic.
Right. So
not to be weird, but
you can use talc.
Takes me back.
Isn't that lovely?
Johnson's baby.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Other brands are available.
Yeah. Takes about 2 hours. I don't know how old was I? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Right. So now what we're going to do with embossing, you've got to kind of be ready for it. You all right there, love?
Yeah, I'm all right now, yes.
Just having a moment.
I was, yeah, just got me emotional. we live in my childhood.
So we've got our card ready, we've talked it, we've got our stamp ready, and now we've got our gun ready, our heat tool, right? Again. Okay, so we've got that. There's another, look, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
It's
what can I say?
Isn't it?
And Wow is definitely a really great brand.
They're a cracking brand.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Boston.
Marion Emse, love that woman.
Is that?
Yeah, she's great.
Thanks,
right, so we're going to just ink up with the embossing pad, and I'll blame it on the air conditioning if it don't work.
Yeah, we'll do that. I do. I'm grateful in a jumper like this. I'm quite fortunate.
Right, so we'll do that, and then what we'll do is we'll just pop that over to this side, like so. That'll do. We'll pop that on there. We don't want to press too hard. Let me tell you something. I'm hoping I didn't press too hard there because I'm excited because I'm on telly, right? Yeah. If you press too hard, think about the logic of it. What you're doing is you're squelching the actual... This is like watching paint dry. You can't see it. But if you press too hard, you're squelching the ink, the embossing ink. So when you go to do this, it's not there, because you've squelched it out from under the stamp.
Oh, I see.
Get it?
30%'s gone with these stamps, by the way.
So now we've got with an ultra-fine embossing powder, what you'll find is, good housekeeping. You don't want embossing powder all over that, I could tell you. Done that before. Right, make a little funnel, pour it back in like this. With ultra-fine embossing powder, it tends to be quite clingy. So if you didn't put the talc on that, what you'd find, there'd be loads of stray speckles.
Yeah,
and then
you
when
always
you heat
regret it, don't you? If you don't,
and you know, honestly, that's the difference between, let's call it handmade and homemade, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to, right, 2 other tips. So this now is a really fine line. My eyesight's not what it should be. Let me just have a quick look. Right, it's a little bit. Have I got rid of all the speckles? Mm-hmm. I reckon this is the point at which you really do yourself a favour. Get yourself a little tiny paintbrush and just make sure. I reckon that's good enough.
I love the perfection.
But take the time. Take the time on this one. Now I'm going to set it on one, and I'm going to lift it up if I may, and let's have a look. So, wafting. It takes a little while to start. What you'll find is 2 things. If you stay in one place and it goes all brown, guess why? You know, it will burn.
Right.
It takes a little time to start, but when it starts to emboss, here it goes now, then you travel with it. Here we go.
Oh, right.
See? And you travel with it and it goes from dark to gold. Can you see this?
You never regret it, do you?
Check the detail on this stamp, though. You know, you talk about the quality of a stamp. Check out the detail on this. The tiniest little dots and... Look at that. If this were a solid surface stamp and I wanted it to be gold as well, when I say solid surface, I mean a silhouette stamp. See, I've done that. That's done. And I'm going to stop. And then let's have a look at it, and I'll explain a couple of things. Simon, can I tempt you in?
Simon's our talented director.
There we go. Look at that. Yeah. Absolutely perfect
there
embossing. And if I went too long, it would go dark, it would go matte. It would suddenly absorb into the card.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a sweet spot where you need to stop. Right, that's worth knowing. If, for example, I need to make sure that this is definitely, that I haven't missed any.
That is nice.
Right, but it's done nicely. If this were a silhouette stamp, what I mean is a full surface stamp, and I didn't want dimples.
Yeah, yeah.
You heat from underneath. Sorry, you heat from underneath. Because if you apply the heat from underneath, then on this
it's more of a solid
when it's
area.
Just a solid mat, like a solid star.
I didn't know that.
Right, if you heat from underneath, it gives the powder, it's a thermographic powder, it gives it longer to melt, and then it's not like a sharp shock.
So it doesn't blow around, it's just gentle.
Precisely.
It's a bit smoother.
And it all melts, and you get like a velvet emboss.
Because I never know which is the right way.
Right, silhouette stamp underneath.
Line
art, really detailed line art on top, not too hot. If you blast it, then it will just ping everywhere.
That's a good. I remember that.
There you go.
It's so important to
just little things like that.
Yeah, it is.
How are we doing for time?
Is that a good time for a recap?
Yeah, good idea.
Is that good? I'll be right
great.
back. We've got lots more to go through. We've got